Functional analysis is the strategy used to identify antecedents and consequences that influence behavior. For example, Todd's abusive behavior is likely to happen during class discussions because of the attention that Todd received during the outburst, which was reinforcing. Positive behavior support. The process of using interventions that replace problem behaviors which serve the same purpose for the student. For example, instead of Todd being disruptive during discussions and receiving an outburst of attention, maybe he can raise his hand, answer the question right, and the class can give him a round of applause for being correct. Behaviorism, particularly operant conditioning, had a strong influence on the use of technology in classrooms. At the turn of the 21st century, experts estimated that 85% of existing educational software emphasized skill learning based on behaviorist principles. Being wrong the first time, getting a hint your second answer, and the third answer being correct increases the chances of you picking the right answer instead of the wrong. Instruction based on behaviorism does not require specific items of information that allow learners to display observable behaviors, but most of what we learn does not exist as specific. Here are some examples. Second is the inability of behaviorism to explain higher order functions, such as language development. For example, even people with small vocabularies would have to learn sentences a rate faster than 1 per second throughout their lifetimes. Third is the impact of reinforcers. Research suggests that offering reinforcers for motivating activities such as solving puzzles or playing video games can actually decrease the interest in those activities. Supporters of behaviorism would ask if teachers would continue working if they stopped receiving paychecks, and would they lose interest in their work because they get paid for it? Another example is that compliments actually increase both student motivation and the way they feel about themselves. Comparing behaviorism and social cognitive theory. Social cognitive theory has its historical roots in behaviorism. Similarities include stable focus on experiences as an important cause in learning. They include the concepts of reinforcement and punishment in their explanations of learning, and they target feedback as an important aspect in the learning process. They define learning differently. Social cognitive theory emphasizes on the role of cognitive processes, beliefs, perceptions, and expectations in learning, and suggests that the environment, personal factors, and behavior are all interdependent, which is a concept called reciprocal causation. Behaviorists define learning as a change in observable behavior, whereas social cognitive theories view learning as a change in mental processes that creates a capacity to demonstrate different behaviors, like Kelly imitating the baseball swing the next day. An example would be you studying for an exam for several days, but you aren't reinforced until you receive your score. You sustain your efforts because you expect to be reinforced for studying. Social cognitive theory suggests that the behavior, the environment, and personal factors such as expectations are all interdependent. An example of modeling is that Tim observed that Susan was successful in her approach in studying for exams, so he copied her behavior. Cognitive modeling is a process of performing a skill combined with verbalizing the thinking behind the actions. It's simply observing the consequences of the other person's actions and adjusting your own behavior. An example would be when you see somebody getting pulled over for speeding and you slow down. Then you are vicariously punished. Expectations are important because they influence behavior when they are not met. For example, your instructor gives you homework and you work hard on it, but he doesn't collect the homework. The non-adherence of the expected reinforcer can act as a punisher, and you are less likely to work as hard on the next assignment.
Created using Powtoon.